So, guys, we have here a comparison just to show, in terms of size and design, how the PS5 here compares with the PS4 here. So the PlayStation 4, we noticeably see that it is significantly more vertical. It's much more larger compared to a more horizontal width-wise with the PS4. With the PS4, we have more of this kind of metallic, I don't know if it's aluminum or it's like a metal kind of see-through, not see-through, but a reflective emblem logo. Versus on the PS5, it's like embedded, like juxtaposed, well, the front is like juxtaposed on the back of this, and it kind of has this 3D look that makes it look like it's popped up, or pops up off of the actual console itself. So we can see in terms of size here, even if we turn the PS5 around that way, this is certainly more square. We can see that here, you can just see how much more wider the actual PS4 is. And, if we look at it this way, we can see that the PS4, is still a tad bit wider overall. But again, it is more square-like. Now, so if we take a look at the actual front of our consoles here, I'm going to see if I can do a bit of a comparison here. Neither one of the consoles are easy to kind of stand up on their own, as we know, but I'll try my best here to show the front of the actual systems. So, here we have our PS4, and we have here two ports. So we have the, as usual, we have the two labeled SS for the controller, but we have that, two of them here and our optical disc drive that goes here. Our PS4 logo is there and just the Sony symbol here. And as you guys know, with the optical drive being here in the middle of these two, kind of sandwiched in between these two components, we have the power button at the top and the eject button here at the bottom. On the PS4, as a reminder, we now have the optical drive as a standalone on the outside of the actual console. And we have our power button on the bottom, which is different. It's a shift different than this one, which we'd have to turn it that way to kind of see what the power buttons are. But here the power button is on the top, the power button on the PS5 is on the bottom, and the eject button is at the top versus the eject button being at the bottom of the PS4. So that is a difference. And also we see that rather than having two ports in the front where we can plug up our presumably controller, we only have one. But we also have a USB-C, which is obviously absent from the PS4. So this is a front perspective of how the optical drive and the actual power and eject buttons look, as well as only one USB. This is obviously not USB 3, and how that looks. On the bottom of each unit, we do see that, again, very different. Here we have, with the PS5, it's more curvature. It's less boxier than the PS4. The PS4, as we can see, kind of have these horizontal lines here with this horizontal line embedded in the middle. There is a bit of a curve here to the back, and it's almost like this curve here to the back is what the PlayStation used as the kind of model for the PS5. And so in the PS5, we have them kind of curving in as such, a big cusp in here, like at the very front of the actual system. But we have here some vents that are here on the side of the PS4. And we have the vents directly here. I'm assuming these are vents directly here on the bottom. Along with, we don't know what this is, but some kind of a circular button. Now, in terms of the back of our system, again, very different, but in terms of, Sony's fascination with horizontal lines, we see that this continues here. So I kind of have the backs side by side there just to kind of show you a little bit of a comparison of how they look. Here we have the HDMI with an optical connector in and our power cord here at the bottom. We see that, and actually, apologies, we'll turn it that way. So we actually have here Our optical cord at the bottom, 2 circles, which is identical to this. We have 1 HDMI, which is pretty identical to this. We do have a reversal, however, of the LAN connector. So the LAN connector on the PS5 exists more towards the bottom of the unit versus it being on the upper part of the PS4 itself. And then, of course, we have a connector here. We also, what's noticeably absent and missing is this optical cord. So there is no optical cord here. It's completely apparently reliant solely on the HDMI. So if you do use an optical connector, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there's some kind of peripheral that you can purchase in order to allow us to do that, but I don't see it. So you want to take that into consideration if you are, in fact, migrating or buying it, or if you have some audio equipment around. It's something to think about. So with that being said, we see that these are kind of the fans with the actual metal on the inside, and very comparable to here. And if we turn it that way, we can again see just the horizontal nature of these. And at the very bottom of our unit, we'll set that there. We've actually already looked at that, so that's the bottom again. We've talked about the front. Now let's take a look at the top. So at the top of our systems, very comparable to the actual bottom. We kind of have these off-slanted, boxy, horizontal lines. Again, this kind of smooth curvature, not with that dip that we see on the other side, likely because that's where the optical drive is. But we also do see here these kind of alien kind of style scales that go out. They very much look like a custom PC look. Noticeably different here because they are embedded on each side of these perpendicular, or not perpendicular, but these two parallel rectangular, bars that are on the PS4. And again, will give us a front view of our consoles. The emblems there. Okay. And I think that's about it. We've done the front, we've done the top. That way. And there we have it, guys. So